Yo, Robinson DUP. Have a little time to shoot some videos, so I figured I'd talk about a couple things. Well, at least this one thing I'll talk about. Just from dealing with a couple people in terms of handling, or I shouldn't say handling, more like giving advice regarding diet and working out. I think, well, no, I don't think. I know. What am I talking about? I always say I think. I gotta be a little bit more direct with what I have to say. But people are trying to rush results. And I think the problem, and there's that I think again, the problem is this. People are getting too used to instant gratification. A push of a button warrants a certain result. So that they believe when they go in the gym that they've worked out for 4 to 6 weeks and all of a sudden they should have developed all this muscle and their body should have dramatically changed within 6 weeks. This is not the case. People need to understand that, especially if you're trying to develop a physique. Hold on, let me do a little of the Mark Loveland, like a switch over the top reference with his militia hat, by the way, which looks pretty nice. You need to have patience when you're in the gym. This takes time. I didn't wake up overnight and become 210 pounds with a 385 pound bench and a 400 plus pound squat and all that stuff. That didn't happen overnight. That came from constant working at it, discipline, and patience. Learning to read my body, learning to change every 4 weeks, varying my plan a little bit and periodizing it so that I can get or improve in certain areas that I'm struggling in. So for instance, squat and dead were always one of my weakest lifts because I didn't really kind of understand them. So believe it or not, I had to basically start from the beginning, humble myself a little bit, drop the weight, and relearn how to do those lifts so that I could get more power, better pull, and avoid injury. So I actually went all the way down to 135 pounds and relearn how to do those exercises and then work my way back up once my form had gotten better. With the diet, it took me a long time to start to figure out how my body responds to different things, and I'm still learning because as you get older, your body changes. So you may give it the same input, but the stimulus is not always the same. And you think, if I eat this every day, my body's going to react the same way every day. But what happens is your body starts to change, your hormones start to change, your metabolism goes through its changes, and then your body starts to react to certain things differently. You know, I've talked about in multiple videos about my issues with carbs and how it's hard for me to get those carbs above 300 grams per day without putting a ton of body fat. And now after, let's see, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We're like 12 months. It's been 1 year. I'm finally starting to I'm over that 300 number and my body's not socking on the body fat because I've trained my metabolism to be able to handle it by slowly increasing the numbers where now my body knows what to do with that input that I'm giving it, as before I had no idea what was going on, immediately storing body fat, and it was driving me nuts. And if anybody has seen me at competitions lately, the one compliment I've gotten is the amount of size that I've put on, but I've managed to stay relatively lean in what we call the off season. I know some people don't like that term, but the season in which we're not competing for a bodybuilding show, so I'll call it off season. So for you girls and guys out there, what you need to realize is you have to stay disciplined. And sometimes gains are going to come really, really quick, and other times gains are going to come really, really slow. And they're only going to be intricate little changes that are going to happen. And you may not even notice them at all until a later point in time where you're saying, oh wow, all of a sudden I got stronger. Oh wow, my legs look different, and my arms look different, and my back looks different. And it may happen when you're cutting down into the next show, you notice these things, but in the off season you might not pick it up as much. But even for the normal person, you don't have the trained eye most of the time to realize these changes are occurring. But you will notice certain things, like all of a sudden your pants legs are starting to fit tighter, or your shirt's a little bit more snug. Now, if you're not careful, that might be fat. But if you're doing things the right way, all of a sudden your shirt is going to fit a little bit different around your chest, your arms, and your back. And you'll say, oh wow, I'm getting more muscle on me. But other people might not notice it. So just be patient, stick to the plan, have discipline. And that doesn't mean never eat a slice of pizza. I'm not even going into that topic about diet. But it's all about consistency. Consistently being in the gym, consistent with your macros as much as possible. Obviously, we know life gets in the way and you can't always be perfect, but be as close to perfect as you possibly can. And eventually the results will come. Now, once again, if you stop getting results and things aren't happening for you, you may want to look into reaching out to somebody that has a vast knowledge of what's going on in this particular area, where they may be able to guide you or direct you to help you get back on track and get past some of those plateaus. So, in closing, stop with the instant gratifications. The supplements are not going to make your body change all that much if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing outside of the gym. Alright guys, hope this was informative, and I'll talk to you soon.